Hi everybody, welcome to my new episode. I am Nathalie and I'm showing you the best places in the world. So today I brought you to the most visited city in the world, Paris in France. If you are limited by time and you really want to visit the most beautiful attractions of Paris that you can visit just in one day, continue watching this video and I will show you them all. Paris, a city that has received perhaps the most enthusiastic compliments, the most romantic city in the world, where great artists lived and worked, and where the student revolution took place. Paris is a city of tourists and Parisians, a kind of beau gosse, trendsetters of style and fashion, shrouded in a trail of sophisticated perfumes. A little strange, but confident in their significance. People who fully understand the concept of savoire, vivre, and live for their own pleasure, slowly sipping morning coffee on open terraces. In this video, I will review you a secret of Paris, a city that you must see and fall in love with. Welcome to Paris. I'm really excited to start my first day in Paris and film all around to show you. And I hope you will like it and watch this video till the end. It's gonna be cool. We will explore the most famous sites of Paris from north to south, and I'll start perhaps with its northern part. Here is located one of the most famous gems of Paris.
Those stairs lead you directly to Sacré-Coeur, one of the most famous landmarks of Paris, Sacré-Coeur Cathedral in Montmartre Hill.
The Sacré-Coeur Basilica is located on the hill of Montmartre, which is 130 meters high. You can climb up the hill using the stairs. And here it is, Sacré-Coeur in all its glory under the midday sun. No wonder why this side of Sacré-Coeur is much more popular among tourists, because it gives you such a stunning view of the front of the cathedral, together with the beautiful panorama all over Paris. People come here to take beautiful photos in front of the landmark of Paris. At the same time, enjoy their time sitting, watching these beautiful views of Paris. Montmartre is known primarily as a bohemian place where many famous artists lived and worked at the beginning of the 20th century. Just at the time, Montmartre was one of the cheapest districts of the city, which attracted the poor bohemia. Today, it can hardly be called prosperous. But what remains invariably beautiful is the Church of Sacré-Coeur. In a Roman Byzantine style, the Sacré-Coeur is recognizable by its white color. It is translated as the Basilica of the Sacred Heart, dedicated to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. I've been here already several times in different seasons. Right now it's autumn time. It's interesting to see seasonal changes of nature around Sacré-Coeur to really get its spirit. Modern Montmartre is immigrants instead of bohemia, crowds of tourists clearly trying to grasp the atmosphere of that mythical Montmartre long time ago.
This opposite side of Sacré-Coeur is much less touristy. As you can see, you don't see any people here trying to take photos in front, but at the same time, this opposite side of the cathedral also deserves your attention.
Sacré-Coeur was built in 1919 and is dedicated to soldiers who died in the Franco-Prussian War of 1870.
Have you ever visited Sacré-Coeur when you were in Paris, or would you like to visit this iconic landmark of this old city of France? So drop me your comments in the comment box down below. Let's share together your thoughts and give the best destinations to travel in the world.
We are taking a cable car to go down the hill of Montmartre. Not far from Sacré-Coeur, the Wall of Love is located. It is known as Le Mur de Je t'aime in French. The story behind this wall is pretty amazing as well, as it was designed by two artists called Frédéric Baron and Claire Quito. Covered in 312 different ways to say I love you in numerous languages, Baron literally went door to door asking embassies, neighbors and strangers how to say the most romantic words in every language. Claire Quito, a calligrapher specializing in Chinese art and characters, then stepped in and brought them to life by creating beautiful white typography for the project, set against 612 dark lava tiles, which are set to resemble Baron's notebooks. Throughout the piece, you'll also be able to spot splashes of crimson, which, according to the official website, are the pieces of a broken heart, those of a humanity which is too often torn apart, and which the wall attempts to reunite. Have you spotted your language? Here is mine. Я тебя люблю.
I'm in front of world-famous Moulin Rouge in Paris. In fact, this night cabaret looks very simple from outside. It's just a rouge facade, red facade, and it says Moulin Rouge, and there is this windmill up there, and that's it. Nothing special, but if you want to see something special, beautiful girls dancing, you have to visit Moulin Rouge show in Paris.
Once upon a time, striptease was danced here, and you could rent a courtesan, but now you can't even smoke in the Moulin Rouge. The price of attending a performance alone starts at 87 euros. Now we are moving more to the south of Paris, and we have arrived to Opera Building. Opera, also known as Palais Garnier, is an architectural masterpiece inaugurated in 1875 at the request of Napoleon III. Today, it is without doubt one of the most dazzling monuments in Paris, a world of elegance not to be missed. The Paris Opera is considered one of the most important buildings in the city. The original name of the opera was Académie Nationale de Musique, Théâtre de l'Opéra. It is located in the center of Paris, close to the Louvre. This 2,200-seat opera house was the successor to the Royal Academy of Music Theatre, which burned down in 1873. The huge stage can accommodate up to 450 people at a time. This building is a prime example of the Beaux-Arts architectural movement, drawing in part on classical 17th century Roman culture and the Baroque style. And now we will hop on a bus and we'll drive along the Champs-Élysées towards our next destination. The Champs-Élysées is called the most beautiful avenue in the world. It stretches for 2 kilometers between Concorde and Arc de Triomphe. You will find expensive shops like Louis Vuitton, Cartier, Guerlain, and Montblanc. And this is the Arc de Triomphe. It was built by order of Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte in honor of the victories of the French army. Built in the 19th century, 50 meters high and 45 meters wide, it is one of the most important monuments of its kind. At the top, there is a terrace with a beautiful view of Paris. Behind my back, you can see the beautiful, splendid view of La Défense. This is an industrial area, or I'd say New York in Paris. This area is more like a business area with all of the glass and steel skyscrapers, and people go there to work. But I'm sure there are people who live up there, but usually it's considered as a business area of Paris. Here you can see Miss Jane in front of Eiffel Tower. This is Champs-Élysées, LA. That's the main, I'd say, artery in the heart of Paris. You can see all the landmarks of Paris so close to snap beautiful photos and be able to see the full panorama of Paris. So if you are visiting Paris and you don't have much time, I recommend you to have this tour to the Arc de Triomphe in the heart of Paris. Pay these 13 euros and get those splendid views all over. There are names of 558 generals and the dates of great victories imprinted at the top of the arch. Located between the Seine and the Champs-Élysées, the Petit Palais became in 1902 the Museum of Fine Arts to house the rich collections of Paris. The collections offer a wide artistic panorama from antiquity to the beginning of the 20th century. A true haven of peace, its interior garden welcomes visitors and allows them to take a pleasant break. The Place de la Concorde is the second largest square in France, after the Place des Cancans in Bordeaux. Today, it is famous for the Luxor obelisk. Luxor obelisk is a 3,300-year-old Egyptian obelisk erected on the square in October 1836. There are prestigious hotels surrounding the square and the two monumental fountains, Fontaine de Mer and Fontaine de Fleuve. Created in 1772, Place de la Concorde was originally known for having been an execution site during the French Revolution. Louis XVI, and Marie Antoinette, among others, were guillotined here. Not far from the Place de la Concorde is the bridge to Alexandre III. Pont Alexandre III connects the two banks of the Seine and is located just between the Champs-Elysees and the Palais des Invalides. Decorated with elegant lanterns and sculptures, it is rightfully considered one of the most beautiful bridges in Paris. The famous bridge was founded by Nicholas II in 1896 and named after the emperor's father, Alexander III. The construction marked the long-awaited Franco-Russian alliance. The grand opening of the Alexander III Bridge took place on the 1900 World Exhibition. The bridge was taken under state protection only in 1975. To date, its length reaches 160 meters. The height of the structure is no more than 6 meters, which allows the beautiful building to rise above the river while not hiding the panorama of the Champs-Elysees. Not far from the Eiffel Tower and in close proximity to the Seine, Trocadero is located. Because of this perspective, Trocadero is one of the most visited tourist spots in Paris. Trocadero is one of the centers of Parisian tourism, whose name reminds us of the battle that took place in Spain in 1823. The French army attacked the Spanish fort of Trocadero from the sea and won. The assault was the final battle and put an end to the 3-year Franco-Spanish War. Today, rich gardens in an English style, which are a great place for leisurely walks, are scattered here on both sides of the Palace of Chaillot. Now we are in front of the main landmark of Paris, the Eiffel Tower. What would Paris be without its famous symbol of the Eiffel Tower? Built by Gustave Eiffel to commemorate the anniversary of the French Revolution, it was featured at the 1889 World's Fair. At a height of 324 meters, the Eiffel Tower is one of the most visited monuments in the world, with 7 million visitors a year. You should definitely climb the Eiffel Tower to enjoy the beautiful view of Paris. I'm staying in front of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. This historical landmark is #1 attraction in Paris for all visitors from all countries every day. The best way to snap the best shots of Eiffel Tower is on the Mars Field, where I'm staying right now. Mars Field is located just behind the Eiffel Tower, and from here you can get your best views of Eiffel Tower. Keep in mind that there is a risk of standing in line for a long time. You have the option of climbing stairs, although you will need to climb 1,665 steps to get to the top. Our next stop is the Hôtel National des Invalides. During the reign of Louis XIV, many Frenchmen died on the battlefields, and a considerable number of those who returned alive remained disabled until the end of their days. To facilitate their post-war existence, the king in 1670 ordered the construction of the Les Invalides in Paris, in which honored veterans and invalids of the war could live. At that time, it was one of the first institutions of its kind on the continent. The institution is still functioning today, with about 100 pensioners of the French armed forces live within its walls. Louvre is one of the most famous museums in the world and the most visited in Paris. The new main entrance of the Louvre is covered by a glass pyramid which has the same dimensions as the Pyramid of Cheops in Egypt. Most tourists come here to see, or rather photo, iconic Mona Lisa, which is kept behind 2 layers of glass. Located in the heart of Paris, this historical monument served as a royal residence with a total area of 210,000 square meters, of which more than 60,000 are devoted to exhibitions. It will take you more than a month to carefully examine the entire exposition of the museum. Numerous halls of the Louvre contain objects of art and everyday life of Mesopotamia, Persia, ancient Egypt. What is one of the best ways to visit Paris in one day? Right, have a boat tour. You will be able to enjoy many historical monuments of Paris from the boat, which will open to you from a completely different new perspective. And this is the French Academy. Founded in 1635 by Cardinal Richelieu, it is a French institution whose function is to standardize and improve the French language. Scientists of the French Academy are engaged in language research, regulation of language norms, as well as the preparation and publication of dictionaries. Notice how throughout this video, the Eiffel Tower opened up to us from completely different angles. Where did you like the views of the Eiffel Tower the most? Musee D'Orsay is a museum with an extensive collection of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist exhibited on 5 floors of the former railway station. There is no such annoying fuzz as in the Louvre, so in D'Orsay you feel like in a museum. This magnificent building you see is Notre Dame Cathedral. It is one of the main symbols of Paris. Unfortunately, just on the day I was visiting Paris in 2019, a fire broke out beneath the roof of the Notre Dame. By the time fire was extinguished, the building's spire had collapsed, most of its roof had been destroyed, and its upper walls were severely damaged. Now Notre Dame is being carefully restored. Authorities hope to have the cathedral open to visitors and religious services in 2024, the year Paris hosts the Olympics. Paris can rightfully be proud not only of its most beautiful architecture with a rich history, but also of natural monuments, among which the Garden of Plants takes a prominent role. Garden of Plants, or Jardin des Plantes in French, is the main botanical garden in France. The Garden of Plants is ideal for those who wish to enjoy nature and discover different plant species. The history of this largest botanical garden in France dates back to the 17th century, when Guy de la Bruce, the court doctor of Louis XIII, decided to grow medical herbs for the royal court. At that distant time, it really was a small garden, by royal standards, of course, but rather quickly it became to replenish with new types of plants. The garden was called Royal, and in 1640 it was opened to visitors. New rare plants from different parts of the world found their new home and proper care here. Today, there are 8,500 plant species and 80,000 seasonal plants in Jardin des Plantes. Such an impressive number, isn't it? In 1794, a zoo was opened in the botanical garden, the basis of which was the menagerie from Versailles. In the Rose Garden, established in 1990, there are hundreds of rose species and rose trees. In general, the Botanical Garden is a place away from the main Parisian attractions. It is worth a visit if you have a few days in Paris or if you have already visited all the main attractions. Well, or if you, like me, love nature and beauty. The Montparnasse Tower is the second tallest building in Paris after the Eiffel Tower. This giant monolithic glass and steel skyscraper is 210 meters tall and has 57 floors.
If you're wondering where you can see the most beautiful panorama of Paris, it's not in Eiffel Tower. You should go to Montparnasse Tower instead. It's a skyscraper in the middle of Paris, and many Parisians actually don't like it because it kind of destroys the overall look of old style of Paris, or architectural style of Paris, but at the same time it gives you these great views. So don't think any longer. If you're in Paris and you want to get the most beautiful snapshots of all over the city, go here.
Construction of the tower began in 1969 and continued for the next 4 years. After the construction, the building was repeatedly criticized. It was the first and last skyscraper to date built in the historic Paris area. Now, the Montparnasse Tower in Paris is ranked the 9th among all high-rise buildings in Europe.
If
If you like my video, don't forget to put me a thumb up, subscribe my channel and share it with all your friends. I really appreciate all your feedback and support on my channel, and it keeps me and motivates me doing more amazing video content for you guys in the future. I love you all, and I see you in my new video about Lyon. Note that every evening the Eiffel Tower lights up for 5 minutes in the beginning of every hour. I hope that my video was useful and interesting for you, and I was able to show you all the main sites of Paris, which you can visit just in one day. I also hope that I was able to convey all the charm of Paris. À bientôt à Lyon.